There we go. Hey, y'all. You are now live with the Emerald Green Collective for another edition of Built Through Broadcast. Today, you have your host, myself, Coach Shantae, and Coach Shayola. And today, we're continuing our conversation about healthy aging. And we're coming to this conversation with the perspective of the mind. So, what are the mental effects of aging? How can you age gracefully, mentally, and some things that you can do for yourself or a loved one to make sure that you have all your faculties in your golden years. Okay, let's take to the intro. Welcome back, y'all. So, like we said, today we are continuing our conversation around healthy aging, what that means, what that looks like, and some tips that you can take on your journey to help you improve your aging gracefully or to help someone that you know to age gracefully in their golden years. So, Coach Shayola, this was a subject that we all agreed on, and last week we kind of got into the conversation, and you shared with us that your grandmother, Nanny, was on a health journey with you. And I know there are
Mhm.
some some great things happening along this journey. So I just want to know what is going well on this detox journey with your grandma.
Okay, wellness check in the house. So, Nanny is doing the 21-day detox with us. And as I've shared in the past, she is diabetic. And we eliminated some of her, day to day things. And y'all, I'll say the next part next. But she's been able to cut or decrease her blood sugar levels by half. Now, the caveat is she's been having challenges with filling her prescription that she would normally use to help regulate the blood sugar. But what's been so dope is that even with just changing her diet, she's been able to experience these changes. Now, today's broadcast is really focused on the mind, right? And how our mental faculty can really affect the aging process. And what I've learned specifically through my grandmother is that the mind is really, really, really powerful. Now, even though she can see just by changing her diet that my levels are pretty much perfect, but my doctor told me I need this medication. So I have to take it. So there was a medication earlier today. She's like, I need to get it filled. I was like, well, why do you need to get it filled? And she was like, I don't know. My doctor said that I need to take this medication. But why do you need to take it, right? Because the doctors are there, they come with their insights and their education and their knowledge, but you know your body, you may not know exactly all of what's going on, but you know when you're not feeling right. But she was like, well, I don't know, he just told me that I need to take it. So that stood out to me because once you got that white coat, people listen to just about anything you say, even if it is to your detriment. So, thank you for allowing me to share. Hopefully, we'll have one of these weeks. Nanny will come in and she'll share, maybe next week, share just what her journey has been. But it's been pretty amazing to see with no medication and just focusing on the diet, cutting those levels in half. That's just like pretty awesome stuff.
Truly.
Hmm.
I'm glad to hear that Nanny's experience is going so well. That mindset piece, like you said, is very critical. And welcome, Coach Latoya.
Hey, girl,
Um,
hey. What's your fro? You look cute.
Oh,
yes.
thank you. Thank you. It's-
Hmm.
So, what I wanted to also highlight is when you start making lifestyle changes and your health changes, and you are, taking those medications, always reach out to your doctor. If you feel so strongly that you must have your doctor's permission and consent for everything, reach out. I believe every doctor's office has a nurse that is answering the phones at all times. So if you're on medications and you start noticing things like Shayola's grandmother, where you are cutting your sugar levels in half without use of medication, let your doctor's office know, hey, I recently started doing detox, and one of the things that I'm experiencing is that blood sugar levels have been cut in half. When I'm checking my sugar levels, this is what I'm seeing, or glucose levels. This is what I'm seeing, and let them know so that they can adjust your prescriptions as needed and wean you off of those medications along your journey, because that's extremely important. When you look
Hmm.
at medication and you're taking those things in, a lot of medications deplete minerals and nutrients from your body. So you want to make sure that as you're weaning yourself off of those things, that number one, you're allowing your doctor to assist you with that process. And
Hmm.
number two, you're also putting nutrients back into your body so that all of your body systems are doing what they need. All right. Very important. So, Coach Latoya, we are talking about, of course, as you know, healthy aging and the mental piece of healthy aging. So, my question for you is, as you have been on your raw vegan diet, what are some of the changes that you have noticed, if any, to your brain as you have transitioned from the steak
Mm.
diet to a plant-based diet to now a raw vegan
That is a great question. I had a little lag. That is a great, great, great question. As far
Mhm.
as I know, for me personally, immediately I noticed changes in like more clarity, more present, more mental clarity, more just more energy, even though
Mm.
more brain energy, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like more creativity, because even though it's I'm not thinking more so of the scientific, I'm thinking more so of like how it impacted me on a practical level. I feel like it made me more creative and made me have more energy to do the things that I've needed to do. I look back on now, back when I was like younger and like I would do like all nighters, like in college, I would do like my all nighters or whatnot. But I find that when I am, especially when I'm fasting, like doing liquid fast in particular, that's why I think it's good to do these things. That you get to do the you have. It's not like with all nighters in college, you are more. I feel like you're pushing yourself to the limit and you're still tired. But when you are really cleansing your gut or taking really good care of yourself, you have the energy, especially if it's something you love and passionate to do. You just have the energy to not have to sleep as long. Now, if you're not getting enough sleep, that's one thing. But when
Mhm.
you are taking better care of yourself and you don't have to sleep as long because you have the energy and your brain is just on 1,000 as far as creativity and doing all the things. So I would say that I just seen more, just having more energy to push through. Even when there's times, I will say there's times where I'm not getting as much sleep as I need, but I
Mm.
would can only imagine how it would be if I was not eating as healthy as I was. I feel like part of the reason why I've been able to kind of do certain things is because of how I've been treating my body since about my mid to late 20s. So I'm very grateful for that. But that's the biggest thing is just more mental clarity, more being able to hear myself, hear my voice, my intuition is stronger, just more alertness, more sharpness. You know,
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's what I would say.
I love that because having mental clarity, that's a great segue um
Absolutely.
for what I was going to add in that what I learned about like just the mind as it relates to aging is of some humans experience things like Alzheimer's and dementia, right? So I saw that they were it's slightly different. Dementia is more of a collection of things, whereas as Alzheimer's is really just a loss of memory. And um, they say that genetics, along with lifestyle and environment, can have a profound effect on your memory.
Mhm.
So, what are some of the things that in this graceful and healthy aging one can do, or many can do, to promote, just the healthy mind, that memory? Because can you imagine? Can you imagine not remembering day to day? Like, how wonderful is the mind that you can remember your name, your phone number, where you live? What if you had to recall that information every single day? That is that would be tough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that I haven't experienced that. But for people who have memory, my husband does tell me, he was like, you need ginkgo because you be forgetting stuff. Okay, or whatever, maybe I could benefit from some herbs. But I'm looking into this Reader's Digest complete illustrated book of herbs, and what are some of the things that you can do for your mental capacity as it relates to keeping it going and strong.
Mhm.
So they say sage is really, really good for maintaining your memory, or really it's specific to Alzheimer's. So if you are a loved one is challenged with that, you may want to think about adding some sage to your foods, and you can have it raw. You can have it as a dry seasoning, right? But that is, and of course, again, the ginkgo is great for helping memory loss. And it was another one that was good for memory. It'll come back to me when I think of it. But what do you all say as it relates to just promoting a healthy memory? What would you suggest to our community that they could, implement, they can use? Of course, we know that the healthy eating as a whole, but you know, what's some things, y'all?
Yes, I would say, of course, when it comes to the healthy eating, greens, 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 like
Mm-hmm.
that is important. Eating your greens, and also, because that also helps with, of course, cleansing of the blood or whatnot. So it definitely
Mm-hmm.
has an impact on your brain. And the ginkgo biloba, I do like that. I do like that as a tea for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Okay.
And I would also say, of course, more other practical things as far as making sure you're
Mm-hmm.
reading on a regular basis, writing if you can, writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also say, of course, like doing puzzles and having like conversation. I would even say things as far as, especially for those that are older and feel like they're losing their memory, or for forgetful. I would say spending more time with young people, with the
Mm-hmm.
that really is helpful. Or like spending time with you, if you're a grandparent, spending time with your grandchildren and helping them as they're learning, learning words and different things. You can also be, teaching them, but it's keeping you sharp too. So those are
Mhm.
some things that can be done.
I love that.
That's
Um,
second all of that.
I mean, that reading and that writing, I think, like you said, just more practical things. Because one of the things that I did see is people don't really start to experience dementia and or Alzheimer's until their 60s, but it's a progression, right? So we don't want to wait until we're in our 60s to really take reading and writing and crossword puzzles and this mental stimulation seriously. Like any disease, it compiles over time. So I'm definitely here for the reading and the writing. Hmm.
Absolutely. And I just want to add also, dementia runs in my family, or dementia and Alzheimer's run in my family. And my cousin actually spoke to a physician, and
Mm.
they checked, I think my aunt, my grandmother's sister, and they told her that the type of Alzheimer's or dementia that we usually get within my bloodline is related to blood pressure. So having high blood pressure issues for prolonged periods of time wears out the blood vessels in the brain and causes deterioration and death in the brain cells in those areas.
Mm.
So when they do the scans, they can see what areas are alert and which areas are not. So the dead areas are the areas that were impacted by the prolonged periods of high blood pressure. And of course, with blood pressure, that has a physical component. It's a part of what we eat and what we put into our bodies that can cause our blood pressure to be high. It can also be the stress that we experience on a day to day basis that can cause our blood pressure to be elevated. There are, all kinds of things from the holistic view that can cause you to have that high blood pressure or to cause you to be in a state where you are not in optimal health. So one of the things that I also would like to share as part of the piece of keeping your mind sharp and healthy as you age is to take time to pay attention to your stress. I find that a lot of our elders are accustomed to living in a high stress state. So they don't naturally take the time to slow down and observe when they're feeling stressed, and they just carry on. But if you take the time to just slow down, do some deep breathing exercises, think about and tune into your emotions, allow yourself to honor those emotions, and don't sweep that under the rug. Just because a lot of people experience certain things, or you feel like other people could be going through worse things than you, it doesn't diminish your experience. Your experience is affecting you on a day-to-day basis. So always give yourself that grace of, whoo, this is tough for me. This is challenging me. This is stressing me. What do I need to do for my clarity and well being? And really lean into those things. And this is Body into Balance. This is a book that was recommended to me by an herbalist, and they have several herbs in here for brain and memory support, and most of them have already been shared. But there are a couple that are here that were not mentioned. One of those is lion's mane. Lion's mane is a mushroom. Mushrooms in general are really, really great for brain support. And nature is really beautiful in that a lot of the produce that you eat, you can look at it and see that kind of looks like an eye, or that kind of looks like an ovary, or that kind of looks like a brain. And those are the corresponding body parts that those things help. So with mushrooms, they're squishy and soft like a brain. So you can eat mushrooms to help with your brain function. Also, turmeric is one of the things that's on the list as well. Rosemary, bacopa, rhodiola. But one that was really surprising for me is the mint family. Any mint, spearmint, peppermint, tarragon, which I think is one of the things in the mint family. All of those things are really, really great for the brain, and I had no idea. So you can add just those simple little things throughout your day to help with your brain support. Taking those things in as a tea, you can sit still and breathe and just sip your tea and allow that to help calm and relax you so that you take the pressure off of your brain, lower your blood pressure, and really give yourself an opportunity to just take control back of what you can control, because there are certain aspects of life that you can't, but that's one that you absolutely can't. So that's what I did want to share from this book and from just the experience that my cousin had with the doctor, because that was very shocking to me. I didn't know that prolonged high blood pressure was a direct cause of Alzheimer's and dementia.
You know that I didn't know that either, but I can see that. Like if you're under constant like stress, and that was a great point as well, coach, because I think that like you said, elders they come from a different time. So just
Hmm.
living in stress is just kind of a normal thing. But mm, if your body's not getting what it needs, if it's not getting the rejuvenation and the relaxation, I can see how that could be the onset to many diseases, really. But that high blood pressure is really, really real. It's either that sugar or that salt that
Hmm.
we are addicted to that really has lasting effects on us. So in the chat, I did put some of the books that we made reference to today. So I didn't include the authors, but I'm sure that you'll still be able to find them. And that was Body and Balance, right, sis?
Body into balance.
Body into balance. So let me correct myself. Hold on. So that's body into balance. And then the complete illustrated book of herbs, which is a great resource, and the essential Ayurvedic cookbook. Now, this book isn't necessarily plant based, but you know, everybody is not on a plant based journey. You know what I'm saying? So you do what is necessary for you and your body style and type. But I love getting creative in the kitchen. So, looking through this, I just passed through something that is a turmeric recipe in here. Just looking through it and picking out, what you would like to um hmm what you would like to create. So I stopped on page 256 of this book, and ghee is the one of the ingredients that they use, and that's really prevalent like in Indian culture. So for them it is, from the sacred cow, right, which is the giver of life. We know that the cow represents the Milky Way, and it really is a sacred animal. I would just say, if you did get this book, be mindful again of how much of whatever it is that you're taking in. Ghee is not on my top of the list, but that's my personal opinion, not saying that anyone else should, uh, not have it. But it's a dope book nonetheless. So before we close out, I hope that this was valuable to you all. The mind, what they say, is a terrible thing to waste. Um, and we want to hold on to our right minds as long as we can. And we want to help our minds do what it needs to do. So checking what you're watching on television, remember now is television. So we don't want to take in too much of that programming, right? Because that dilapidates the mind as well. We want to be mindful of the radio programming that we are listening to that can dilapidate the mind. Also, we have to remember that frequency, sound is everything. That's our whole, really, this realm is highly rooted in frequency, vibration, and sound. So just be mindful of what you're taking into your mind, and what you're taking into your mouth, equally as important, and what you're taking into your spirit. As women, I think we have a tendency to want to nurse and nurture. The title really is An Age in Mind, Nurture and Nature, right? So what takes precedence, the nature of a thing or the nurture of a thing. And I would probably say, not probably, I am saying that both are important. Your nature, your genetic may be a thing, but if you nurture your nature, you may very well have a different outcome. So, anything to add, coaches? Coaches?
You definitely have shared a lot of what I would have stated. So I said that you did it.
Thank you,
You
sis.
did it. Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Any closing words for you, Coach Shante?
Um, Two main points. One, if you do not regularly detox, you definitely want to start. If you're looking for support with your detox, you can always reach out to the Emerald Green Collective. We do have our group detox going right now. At this, as it stands, we do two of those a year in the spring and in the fall. But if you're looking for support through your detox in that off season, feel free to reach out and let us know. We'd be happy to walk you through how we can support you through your detox journey to help you get on the right path with your health and wellness goals. That is a service that we offer. The second point that I want to make is do things that nourish and nurture your entire being, not just parts or pieces of yourself. So, if you are on a holistic wellness journey and you're interested in experiencing or enjoy things like gardening and sound healing and astrology, we've got a really, really phenomenal anniversary celebration coming up on Sunday, and we're going to be hearing from experts in all three of those fields: gardening, sound healing, and astrology to help us to plan for the fourth quarter and be prepared for the year ahead. Take care of your body, mind, and spirit. There's so many different avenues for doing that. You can combine the holistic with the allopathic and have a winning strategy and just really give yourself the best opportunity possible. So that's what I wanted to add.
Well, listen, that was a great ad, Hunty. Okay. No, really, that was a great ad. We hope that you all will join us for this really special event as it relates to ending the fourth quarter strong. Let's see. It looks like the link went pretty great on YouTube, but on Facebook, it looks like it bounced back. So we'll just, let me try it one more time. We definitely would love for you to come out and spend time with us because why not? It's
That
us. No, I'm just kidding.
is a great investment and it will be a phenomenal experience. I'm really hyped. I know the other ladies are excited and really hyped, but I'm like really hyped because sound therapy has become one of my favorite things. My garden is behind me. I enjoy spending time out here. And astrology is something that I absolutely love and I'm very interested in. So when I meet people that have actually taken the time to learn astrology and can really tell me something, I'm like, listen, let me tune in because I have a hard time on occasion understanding the houses and decorations. And
All
so
the
come
things.
on in the room and get in there.
Yes, definitely that. Definitely that. And I put in the comments, the stars don't lie. That's really why I love astrology because it really is a blueprint, and like you said, to study the craft and really have an overstanding to be able to share it in layman's terms is like, thank you. So, the gardening is key because we need that. Even if you have a small something within your home of the herbs that you know that you need based on your body, what your body needs, and then the sound frequency. Y'all, again, sound is everything. It is pivotal in our healing. So, we hope that you would check us out. The registration link is now also on our Facebook page. So, you know, you have today and tomorrow to, and maybe even, I think it times out, I think midnight, um, Sunday. So come in the room. Look, come in the room. So until next Friday, family, We say peace, love, and wholeness, and we will see you soon. Peace, y'all.